City Planning Commission approved new recommendations on short-term rentals here in New Orleans. They include limitation on permit holders, guest limits per unit, as well as exceptions on the per block limit. These new recommendations now head to the City Council for a final vote. However, housing advocates are worried that these proposed changes are too vague. Andreanecia Morris, the Executive Director for HousingNOLA, is joining us. You've been a frequent guest on the show. Affordable housing is a huge issue in this city, and we are seeing, and we'll go back to the Brown Dairy property.
Yep.
That was supposed to be all for affordable housing. Now, because of whatever happened, it's sold to new owners, and they're going to make it short-term rentals.
So part of it is, there's two projects on there. There's a fantastic project that's on the O.C. Haley side that took a lot of money and a lot of effort, and those developers are honoring that commitment for rental housing. It's going to have rental affordable housing. On the Carondelet side, that's where we've had the big missed opportunity, where instead of home ownership opportunities for people who live in the Central City area, we're going to have all party houses.
And we heard all kinds of excuses on why that couldn't have been done. Do you buy that?
Nope, we do not. If you have to want to do this, and again, this is where our policymakers have to step up. We have to start making it very clear what the rules are for doing business in New Orleans. If the rules are clear, people will do, and there's resources, and there's incentives, and there's help to do what the people of New Orleans do. Business leaders will do that. Developers will do that. They will play by the rules because that is what lets them make money. But if we keep letting these vague sets of strategies be rolled out in the name of somebody being able to get their way, businesses won't come here. They won't invest in the people of New Orleans, and worst of all, we won't know how to navigate the systems.
And tomorrow night we're doing a crime forum on New Orleans, and some of the problems, when we talk about right now, you got to stop the bleeding. I mean, there's so much crime, but the long-term solutions are affordable housing.
Yep.
Education and jobs.
That's right.
And we find that we talk about the need for affordable housing. It just seems like so little is done in this city to make that possible to happen. Yeah,
I mean, we've got to start looking at every opportunity. We say put housing
because
first.
long term, that's
the only answer. If we're worried about what these kids are doing, the kids have no hope. They have no reason to hope. They have no opportunities when they're looking at their housing situation, when they're looking at their educational opportunities. They don't see a really good path, especially when you're having people being put out of their homes after retiring because of skyrocketing insurance, because of taxes, because of blight, because their houses have been falling down and they can't fix them up. And these kids see that. They see their parents and their grandparents struggle. They struggle themselves to get a good night's sleep, to go to school in a place that isn't falling down around them.
And right now we see such a need for affordable housing. You see so much blighted housing and housing that could be redeveloped. It could be redeveloped to become affordable housing for people, so you kill two birds with one stone.
Right, so why aren't we doing that?
That's the big question.
Right, the big question is so it's a choice that we're making, and it's hard for for us to accept that from our leaders. We've got to push them.
Do you think the city has just dropped the ball on that?
Again, the HousingNOLA report card graded us as failing to address affordable housing for 3 years in a row. Yes, we have dropped the ball.
And what do you think should or could happen to start changing this?
So we've got some one-time money in ARPA funds. We're not talking about investing it in the people of New Orleans. We're talking about the only housing proposals that have come out so far is to help police officers live in the city.
Well, and that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing, but it's not that shouldn't be the only housing policy that comes out of hundreds of millions of dollars of one-time money to help people after COVID. People lost their housing during COVID.
Yeah, and we have thousands and thousands of people who really need the help for affordable housing to make their lives sustainable here in New Orleans.
And everything keeps getting worse, right? We keep getting hit with issue after issue. If it's not utility bills, if it's not the inability to even fix up your own home so it doesn't become blighted, it's now insurance.
Do you have any hope the city is going to step in and change this?
We always have hope. We have
realistically.
Well, we have confidence in the people of New Orleans that the people are going to hold their elected officials accountable.
Because that's what it's going to take. It's got to come from the bottom up instead of the top down.
That's right. That's right. It's got to come from the bottom up. So we have confidence, we have hope in the people of New Orleans because they've done this before,
All right.
and they can do it again.
I love when you come on the show, Andreanecia. Thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate that.